1992 diary. So I'll give you a little bit of context. In 1992, I was 17, 18 years old. I left school the previous year in the summer of 1991 with spectacularly bad GCSEs, which didn't propel me to college, but plunged me into an abyss of misery and excruciating boredom with a job in the civil service. So my 1992 was just spent staring forlornly out of an office window, longing to be somewhere else, longing to be doing something else with my life, longing to be travelling the world, or writing a book, or touring with my band. They were wholly imaginary at that point, but had I had a band, I would have been touring. So it was pretty bad. This was me in 1992, alone in my bedroom, where else? Playing my guitar, wearing my moccasin slippers there, which is a lovely slipper to this day. And you probably can't see very clearly, but on the wall there's postcards for The Cure, which one might love at that time. I still love them, but I was obsessed with them at the time. So I would spend all my waking hours listening to The Cure, which I think probably was the most uplifting soundtrack for my life at that stage. They kept me sort of trapped in what I would call a misery loop. But yeah, and that wallpaper, it's that classic 80s. I think I also had the Ferrari clock as well. Marilyn Monroe wallpaper, a New Order poster, TV guide for those lonely nights. Anyway, yeah, this is the diary in question. Anyway, this is the front cover of my diary. Now, I think this obviously isn't a leather-bound diary with a lockable clasp. It's a crappy notebook I've stolen from the civil service. But I have these on my front cover, as you can see, and I think the front cover is the first interesting aspect because I clearly designed this front cover before I'd written a single word about 1992, but I seem to know how 1992 is going to work. So I haven't sort of gone, new year, new me, 1992 clean slate, let's be positive. This front cover says 1992, the year of misery, the year of underwhelming events, the year of failure. The year of low cloud, by all accounts. Because, I've not just written 1992, I've written 1992, these towering numbers, next to which this tiny figure, me I'm assuming, sits slumped in the dirt, arms folded, a look of sadness and dejection on his face. So I really set the tone with this. There are also, obviously, the obligatory messages: don't read, Mum, don't touch, you'll be shocked. Little did I know that when I wrote that, 23 years later, I'd be on the phone to my mum saying, can you fish that diary out? And then she'd be able to go on to quote most of it back to me, just to make sure she had the right diary. Which, as you will hear, was excruciating for me, just a really awful experience. So I'll read, get into the first diary entry. I hope I've changed some names in here. Not that they're going to be thinking, when's Andy reading his diary out? This is January 16th, 1992, 12:17 a.m. You'll see as I read through these, I have a strange love of precision. So, I was thinking, well, when this is found in the future and civilization's been destroyed, people think, wow, what's this document? It's really important that I was writing this on January 16th, they need to know the precise time of day when my mind was churning out this bollocks. We're also over 2 weeks into January 1992, so obviously not a single noteworthy event has happened in my life. I should also explain that this is my normal voice, slightly croaky because I've been ill. Thank you, anyone here? Been ill, thanks. But for the purposes of reading these diary entries, which are so overly dramatic, I might sort of go into my dramatic readings. So this is January 16th, 1992, 12:17 a.m. This is the diary that will cover everything that my 5-year diary doesn't. My other diary just scratches the surface of my mind, whereas this diary will contain my deepest thoughts. I'll start with my life in general. At this moment in time, I get up every morning at about 7 a.m, completely exhausted, battle through a day in the civil service where I encounter lots of people moaning, John's prying eye, Trevor, well, just Trevor, we all know Trevor, don't we? And severe boredom. I do that 5 days a week, sometimes see Kev on a Friday, 2 shag from my week at work to do anything on a Saturday, and Sunday's just Sunday. The day before Monday. The day before another tiring, boring week. It doesn't sound too good, and it isn't. For example, the misery loop I was talking about. I don't have a girlfriend, which means I don't have a social life, which means I have nothing. Apart from a dog, a loving family, a roof over my head, a nice warm bed, a car, and my health, I hope. You've got to put that bit of jeopardy in there. Have I got my health? Have I got some terrible disease? Where was I? Yeah, I think the general picture is there. Angie, the girl I still fancy, the girl I used to go out with, has all but forgotten me. She's gone to college and has got a new boyfriend. She seems to have leapt to a fresh, clean, new chapter of her life. Whereas I seem to have leapt to a ripped, coffee-stained page of a boring, insignificant chapter no one's bothered about anyway. Nice girls that I see at work, unfortunately, always come with 6-foot boyfriends included. It's all a waste of time. The last time I saw Angie was on December 30th, 1991. She invited me round, we had a good laugh and a talk. I began to feel excited about life, reading too much into it all, thinking that 1992 could be the year. But I was wrong. I haven't heard from her since. Things better start getting better, work-wise, girlfriend-wise, and social life-wise. Otherwise, this could be the year where I'll think, fucking hell, I'm bored. So, that was an uplifting start to the year. That was nice and uplifting. This next one, April 24th, 1992. Haven't got the hang of the diary writing, obviously. This is sort of several months later. April 24th, 1992, 12:31. This is going to be a little bit embarrassing, well, very embarrassing for me to read out. It's probably going to make you squirm in your seats a little. You're all strangers to me, obviously, and I'm going to be reading this thing to you. Please don't leave, because when Emma did the call out for new readers, and she said, oh, it'd be really interesting hearing from men to give us an insight. This is that insight. So, I'm sorry. Okay, slight gap since my last entry, but nothing much has happened. Not much has changed since my last entry, except now I seem to find myself masturbating every night. I have an unstoppable urge, so I lie down on my bed. It's not going to get graphic, don't worry. Concentrate hard, and end up fantasising about every girl I've ever fantasised about. Then, after, at least 3 to 4 seconds of mind-melting pleasure, I just think, shit, why did I do that? I just can't be arsed. Yes, I have an unstoppable urge, but deep down, I just wasn't bothered. According to statistics, not cited, I'm going to be at my sexual peak when I'm 18 years old. That's only 5 months away. And yet I'm still on my own, getting sexually aroused by imaginary girls in imaginary, if not completely ridiculous, sexual situations. Not to laugh, I suppose. Ridiculous sexual situation? What, at a funeral? What are the situations? Whatever it was, it made me go off in 4 seconds. I remember a few months ago, I got rid of 3 of my porno mags in a big effort to come out of my adolescent masturbating stage. But then at Christmas, what do? That's right, I go and buy the Penthouse Christmas special. I can't believe that I'm up at this time of night writing about masturbation. It must be bad. Going to bed now. Let's hope in my next entry, whatever that may be, I write about something happy. So, the happy years. The happy years. That's, well, that's the happy years. But like, kind of hidden tracks on a crap album you might have bought, I unearthed 2 extra diary entries. For some reason I just thought, yeah, I won't bother with the pad anymore. I'll write on a piece of paper. I've also taken to writing, sort of giving these titles as well for some reason. So the next one I'm going to read for you is it this one? I think it is, yes. So this next one that I've got is called Night Thoughts. Which sounds a little bit like a late night radio phone-in show. I'm like, that was Enya with Blue Days. You're listening to Night Thoughts. This is 12:45 AM, 3rd of December 1992. My 5-year diary still sits there in months of dust, and I still sit here after months of mood swings and drunken nights out. Probably stood in a car park somewhere. Nothing much has changed since my last essay on life. The civil service still has me firmly by the balls, and I still hate it from the bottom of my heart and beyond. Every day feels like it's just come off a conveyor belt in a factory manufacturing Andy Tootell's boring days. A little bit clunky. It's always the same. 1. Wake up, moody. Get dressed, mumble, storm out, drive to work. 2, work, moody. 3, come home, have tea, watch soaps. Nice. 4, watch TV in bedroom till late, read ... magazines. 10 seconds. Go to bed. 5, not enough sleep, and then as Zara is saying, go back to 1, back in the misery loop. I'm a prisoner. I am number 6506431. That's my staff number. I'm trying not to get pulled too deep in the civil service. I've joined no clubs, I'm not a union member, and I neither possess nor bring to work a flask or a butty box. Until I suffer any of those fatalities, I surely cannot be classed as a civil servant. The girl situation's the same. No Angie for months, probably never again. There was a girl at work, Jackie. Someone said she liked me. It really got me going, got me thinking. But it turns out they were taking the piss. It would have been a lot easier for them to just force a sharp implement into my chest and twist it like a screwdriver, so just the ends of my fingers twitch. That would be like stuffing someone like that, though, wouldn't it? It's scary. This is a bit weird, but it's scary inside of me, inside my head. Sometimes I just want to be away from everyone, just to be on my own. No girl worries, work worries, no one on my back, no one winding me up, nothing but a blissful existence, never to be achieved. The closest thing that I can get to that at the moment is shutting myself off and talking to no one except for select individuals. Only the worries and the people on your back are still there. Even that can't go on forever because you end up in a false environment. Everybody's tiptoeing around you and talking to you how they wouldn't normally talk, and everything's weird and more awful than before. That probably makes no sense to anyone. Yeah, it makes no sense. But I just need to sort my head out. It's in bits. Maybe Christmas will give me some breathing space and thinking time. The next time I write one of these, it might be from a sunny beach in the south of France. No, but doubtful. And then I end this particular diary entry with some song lyrics from Eddie and the Hot Rods' 1977 classic, Do Anything You Want to Do. Which, if you don't know it, goes, I'm going to break out of this city, Blackpool at the time. Leave the people here behind, searching for adventure. It's the type of life to find. Tired of doing day jobs, with no thanks for what I do, John. I know I must be someone. Now I'm going to find out who. And I put P.S. Couldn't have put it better myself. Evidently, because you're up at 1:27 a.m. quoting Eddie and the Hot Rods. So that was Night Thoughts, and the last one I've got to read for you is undated. But I know from the story arc, that it must have come like a week or two after this diary reading. So this is December 1992, 1:46 a.m. We do know that. And the title of this is Success, Joy, Fear, Tiredness, Worry, and Waiting. A whole range of emotions. Profiled into one title. I've had to write another one of these things again. Life is dodgy at its best, but at the moment it's shaking all over the place, touching every vital nerve in my body and making me painfully aware that it can swing me around by my dick anytime it wants to. Friday was as bizarre as 15 Moroccan root vegetables dancing on the table. I started going out with Jackie, I think. I am really pleased about it. I can't read that bit without sounding like William Shatner as James T. Kirk. I am really pleased. But now I feel that I'm out of my depth and can't get out. Rather like sinking slowly in a stench-ridden bottomless swamp laden with thick fog. That escalated quickly. I'm so happy about it. No, I'm in a fog thing. She just came up to me and said, yes. But then started going on to me about all of these things, things I just didn't know about. Things like drugs. Or as I wrote in the diary, it really looks like it sort of feels like I brought drugs alive on the page of it. It looks like it's been sort of like scrawled by the shaky hand of this addict. She wasn't a crack addict. She did have all her own teeth. I think she's into ecstasy, but I didn't do any drugs apart from the legal drug of alcohol. And even then, I didn't buy my first alcoholic drink until I was 18 and legally entitled to do so. So our lives were a little bit of a collision course. She's the nicest girl I've ever met. From what I've heard on and off, she's had a few rough times, and yet she's almost always laughing and smiling. And that's brilliant. But for the very first time in my life, I feel scared of life. I've felt scared before, mostly about meaningless, positively unscary things, but this is different. When I go to bed and think about the whole situation, my mind races, and I'm thrown into convulsions of fear. And then I put in brackets, inside. So, you know, just to reassure me, I'm actually on the floor frothing at the mouth. When she started talking about the drugs and other things, she made me look at myself and made me realise that I'm just a baby. I've been out of school a year and a half, and no matter how much I say that I'm grown up, there's still a huge part of me, if not all of me, that's still an innocent schoolboy. As far as relationships go, I've never had to deal with anything on this scale. We're really alike in some ways, like sense of humour and things. But then there's 1,000 other ways that we're the exact opposite to each other. I list 3, because obviously 1,000 would be a little bit... You've got to wrap something 50 minutes or so. So I list 3. 1. She likes rave. I hate it. She does drugs. I don't. Not illegal drug or alcohol. 3. She's got hundreds of friends. I have 3. If we are going out together, where does a compromise come from that's strong enough to hold us together? After just looking at those 3 factors alone, I'm lost, hopelessly. Help! A shout on paper. That's the end of that diary entry. I got to the end of that diary entry and I wrote it, and I wrote the help, and I thought, I don't know, when people are reading this, are they going to know what the emotional turmoil I'm going through right now? Are they going to get it? So what I'm going to do, I'll give them a visual nudge. So I drew this, which is a strange wolf, dog-like creature squeezing blood out of a human heart. It's literally been ripped from a man's chest. And I only realised that when I was researching this, that my mind had inadvertently conjured up the image of the adlet. Just go to... which is a creature from Inuit folklore with a taste for human blood. So it's pretty amazing what the mind can conjure up in its darkest hours. To give you a little bit of closure, because now you won't go home tonight with an invitation, you don't want to sweat it. What happened to all of that shit that I don't remember that you spoke about? So, trying to remember the name I made up for the girl. Jack. Oh, thanks everyone. It was Jackie. Jackie and I never went anywhere. Literally never went anywhere. It was all brushed under the carpet and it was never mentioned again. I left the civil service a few months later and I think she went off to India to discover herself. But you might remember Angie. Name's changed, technically isn't. Angie, we actually ended up going out for 5.5 years in the end, from 1996 to 2001. So it's funny how life works out. I'm happy married with another woman now, but yeah, so funny how life works out. So I'll leave you with the menacing image of the adlet. Thanks for watching this moment.